So, you guys won't know the pain in the ass I just went through, but I had a problem with my keyboard. So as you will see, I'll press the help button, the excellence thing comes up, and now I can press escape, and it goes away. I took my keyboard apart, completely apart, in order to fix one key, the escape key. A week later, this garbage happened. Just took it apart for the escape key. When I put it all back together, half my keys didn't work. And I am so angry. And yes. Now all of them work again after a week of just utter pain. I will never, ever touch this keyboard again. Never. You and me, we are never, ever getting back together. So today is going to be one of those story kind of videos, kind of like my read-write error, check it out, or the story about how my hard drive died and I rescued it. A trip through my Amiga experience, something I don't exactly want to forget about. Maybe one day I won't want to forget about it. But so basically, I was playing the game Hostage / Hostages, and in this game, it's got like 3 scenes to it. The first scene you're fine. The second scene requires the use of the escape key. Third scene does not. And despite the fact that this came out on the Commodore 64 and Atari ST without needing the escape key, but it needs the escape key on the Amiga. My escape key has not worked really. 10 years ago, when I first got the Amiga back up and running, it was iffy. If you pressed it enough or you pressed hard enough, you could get it to work eventually. 5 years ago, I had to take the key off altogether, fiddle around with it with a screwdriver, put the key back on, and it would work a bit. About a year and a half ago, it just wouldn't work, period, no matter what I did to it. So it hasn't really been an issue because the escape key is a redundant key. It's to escape out of a menu or something. It's to get out of something. There are usually other ways with the mouse or even another key, the enter key or something. There are usually other ways to get about not using the escape key. Redundancy is a wonderful thing. Always have another option. But this game, first game I came to, which I needed to use the escape key, I couldn't get it. I tried my screwdriver method. Nothing was working. So I knew I had to completely take the keyboard apart. It's a daunting task because, well, you will see here in my spare board, look at all the holes in this sucker. That's a lot of screws, little teeny tiny screws, all of which are going into brittle plastic, so you gotta be very careful, or else you might strip where the screws go in. So, not looking forward to this at all. I take the thing apart, I put a new plunger into the escape key, which is what I figured was wrong, put it back together, and half my keys no longer work. So I went in to fix one key, put it back together, half my keys didn't work. Yeah, not fun. So I spent a good week with this keyboard. Just like first I tried this keyboard completely. It had all its keys. With this membrane, I'm trying all the options I can. Like putting in this keyboard only changed which keys didn't work. It still had keys that didn't work. It's like I put them in the dishwasher. It is okay to put electronics in dishwashers. Just make sure they dry. Put it in the dishwasher. it didn't help it. It didn't hurt it, but it didn't help it. It did make it a lot cleaner, I will say. Definitely go with, definitely makes it nice and clean when you put them in the dishwasher. I tried just replacing certain keys and stuff, and I was tempted to buy a complete new keyboard. I was getting that fed up with everything. God, keyboards. Oof. Prices have gone up. It's like $50 for a keyboard now. Screw that. I swabbed the membrane with alcohol and Q-tips. I swabbed it with polish to hopefully increase the conductivity or something. I put pencil marks on some of them because the contacts are made of graphite or coated with graphite or something for conductivity. So I put pencil on them, and like nothing was working. I finally got it to work, and a very odd method that I found on a forum, which I'm going to end up showing you. I got them all fixed now. You know, any keys that I press will work. But there are a couple keys I didn't get to because I didn't care about, which haven't worked in forever. On the number pad, you know, the calculation functions. The numbers work on the number pad, and so does the enter key on the number pad, but some of the calculation buttons, like plus, does not work. So, you know, I was hoping I could use this opportunity to show you what I went through in order to make this work again. And we're also going to use this opportunity to put this sucker back in, which fell out at some point. I had no idea how the caps lock light worked in this thing. You know, I spent like a day like, what? I don't understand this caps lock thing. How does this work? It's like these things, like, apparently they fall out easily. This is the red one, which came off my original keyboard. I think the newer models have a green caps lock key. You know, much like the keyboard LEDs themselves, mine is red for the power and green for the drive. This one here is green for the power and yellow for the drive, despite the fact that it says power red and drive green on the motherboard. So I'm just going to take you through the journey I went through. Hope you will enjoy. First thing for us to check out here is that all the keys work, and we're going to show which ones do not work, so you know when I put it back together that I actually fixed the problem. So the escape key, we find out how that works by pressing the help menu comes up. We press the escape key is working. F1, it puts a little weird symbol there. F2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm pressing them. You don't even need to press them that hard. You can just tap them and they should work. Tilde, or, well, there's tilde. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, minus, plus, equals, forward dash, backspace. Make sure the delete key works. Delete key is working. Obviously the help key works. We showed that off. This is where they don't work. Over on the number pad here, calculation button, dividing does not work. Multiplication not working. Minus works. Plus does not work. Enter does work. All of the numbers themselves, they work. Tab key is working. Q, W, E, R, T, Y, QWERTY, U, I, O, P. Left bracket, right bracket. Enter is working. Control, that will be the last thing I show off. I'll do a control Amiga delete thing. Control, I'll reset the machine with the control and Amiga keys. Caps lock does work, but the light is not working because it fell out. We will fix that. A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, semicolon, quote keys all working. Shift, left shift works. Z, X, C, V, B, N, M, comma, period, backwards dash, or is that forward? I don't even know. I don't know. Right shift works. Arrow keys, left, up, down, right, all working. Alt. How do I don't know how to check the Alt buttons. I'm sure they work though. Not in this program, I don't think. Where's the Alt S? I don't know. It's right Amiga, isn't it? Oh, fuck you and your damn fucking 2 Amiga keys. My original had a Commodore key. The space bar works. That is all of them. These are the buttons we are going to take note of and try to fix. Are these buttons here, except for the minus key, which works. So these calculation functions on the number pad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 keys in total. These are not working no matter what I do. So I will use them to demonstrate what I did for most of the keyboard in order to get it to work. And we will do a salute to resetting there so we know these keys work. And with that shown off, we can now take off the keyboard, which is easily done in my case considering I already have the top cover off. So I'll just pull out that, and I will take this out along with the ground, and we can now easily, and I can show you everything. Alright, so here's the keyboard. Again, these are the keys that are not working. And we're going to flip those off now so that when we take the keyboard itself apart, the plungers will just flip right out for us. I've done this quite a few times, so at this point I know the easiest way for me to go about these things. And all of the other keys are confirmed to be working, I believe. I didn't really check the Alt keys, but I'm pretty sure the Alt keys work. So we will flip it around. Oh, actually, before we flip it around, it's also a good idea to use this and flip it backwards. I didn't even know this was possible at first. I had so many problems with this frickin' get out. There we go. Yeah, I had so many problems with the membrane attachment thing here. I was like, I did not understand it. Was just doing it all on my own. So yeah, loosen that up first. Flip her around, and yeah, we have a lot of screws. a lot of fucking screws. We'll take this out first. And, yeah, get the little plastic. There's another screw. I couldn't get the damn screw to go back in for this one, but there should be another screw there. And one holding the board itself in. And that should come out. And now it's just a matter of all of these damn million screws. Oh, geez. There's also a date code, by the way. I should show you my other one so you can check that out. So here is my other one. We put up close here. I believe the 91 there is the year for this. That would make sense for this other board that I had. For it to be a 1991 model. And here's the other one. As you can see, like,
they have a lot of the numbers, like the first couple numbers there are the same, 50. So that's why I think the other one is the date. 91 for this one. This one says 87. It is indeed an 87. That was when the original Amiga was bought. It was an original Amiga 500 revision 5 and such. Originally, and obviously has the red LEDs and such, which is only available for that particular model. They changed everything. So I believe this dates it officially to 1987. I think the motherboard itself confirms that, but just another way there to date your Amiga, I guess. So, let's start the long, arduous process. I always say, be careful with all of these, because you can strip them. Like it doesn't feel like when you're putting them back in. Like putting them back in is the problem. It's like you got to be very, very careful. Don't tighten them too much. And yeah, I think we will show you getting quite a few of them out, but then I will fast forward and just skip to the end, because I have never ever come across. I believe all of these screws are essential to the actual functioning of the keyboard itself, because when I tried just to put the membrane and the keys together without the screws and hook it up to the Amiga, that made more keys not work. So, I believe the pressure that the keys are putting down onto the board and the membrane is an essential part of the keyboard actually functioning. That's why there are this many in there, is to keep the membrane in place perfectly. Because if the membrane is just a tiny bit out of place, or it's creaking up a little bit or something, if it ain't perfect in there, your keyboard is going to be messed up. Alright, we're on the last couple of screws here. You can take it apart like this, or you can flip it around. If you flip it around, though, all your plungers, which are not there, will flip out there. There, you'll see that. I'll show you the other way, too. If you take it apart this way, though, just remember, any keys that are already off, the plungers will come off at this point. So there we go. As you see, the plungers came off for these keys. Here's the board here, in case you want to take a look at that. There is my... I had the actual power thing still in there. For the light, caps lock light. I found that on the floor, and I'm like, what is it? I had no idea. I don't know what these things... I'm finding parts, I don't know what the heck they're for. That is the actual, like, thing that touches the board for the power, I guess. But the light... the light came out, so I have another light around somewhere. I believe that is a green one that I had in that key previously. I went all the way back. I thought, while I did all of this, I thought, why not go back to my original board. Previously, I had just switched out this. This is the circuit board for the keyboard, because I wanted the original red LED light and green drive light, but I was actually using the newer keyboard from 1991 with a couple keys, I think, an exception there. But I did use this as an excuse to completely go back to my original 1987 keyboard in all senses. This is the 1991 membrane here. And this is the 1991 keyboard. This went through the dishwasher, but as you will see, like it didn't clean it completely. It cleaned up, like it cleaned out any of the bad stuff, but it left behind, you know, like kind of I'd call it a stain or something. But you can clean that up. I cleaned this one up completely with every key removed. Yeah, might as well go ahead and put that light in there. It should work. I guess it goes down that way. And into that hole there. Alright. Get in there. There we go. No. No wonder it falls out. Jesus. It's not held in. Like all the other ones are held in by, you know, the keys themselves. This one is not actually held in. So it's no wonder it falls out so easily. If you take your keyboard apart, make sure that your caps lock key is accounted for. The main problem I was having were these plungers. Okay, they're made of rubber, and I tried all kinds of things. I polished them, I put alcohol on them, I did all kinds of things. Was not helping the connectivity to the actual membrane. So there is the plunger up close. A process I went through for actually fixing it in the end was using alcohol, and this is I guess I hate to say this, but thanks to EAB. I mean, to be fair, it was their suggestion was padded with about 10 other suggestions, which didn't help at all. And plus, I had already tried my own in the beginning with no success. But eventually, I had to resort to form searches. Ugh. But it was an EAB suggestion, which said take your plunger, take the plunger, rub it through some alcohol here, and with the piece of paper there, yeah, dab the thing in some alcohol. Get a piece of paper and run it over the paper, just over and over again. And you can see it's no longer wet. Those are pencil marks. It is making actual pencil marks because it's coated in graphite. My first thought was this could only hurt it. You know, to take off the graphite like this would hurt it, obviously, wouldn't it? But no, I mean, seeing is believing, and doing this is actually what helped it. I guess too much crud gets on the surface or whatever and takes off the conductivity. This is kind of stripping off a layer, I guess, and actually does make it more conductive. So this is what I did with every single plunger for the most part, except for those ones there, is I just got a piece of paper, put them in some alcohol, rubbed them over the paper over and over again. That's an old one there. And when to stop this, I don't really know. Like, the graphite's never going to end. So I don't know. I do it for a while until I feel it's okay to stop. And it seemed to work for all of them that I tried it on. So that's what we are going to do here and see if those calculation keys come back to life for us. When you find one that is okay, I would recommend just putting it in right away. So the first key there will be the number lock. I forgot that, you know, these have dual functions. So put a spring on, put your key there, and on the other side, line it up, and put your plunger back in. And make sure you'll hear like a click kind of thing, which I already heard. And there, that one is in. Hopefully now that key will work, and we will do that with the other plungers. So all the keys are now good. The plungers are in. And rather than line this up, which I attempted to do several times, I gotta say, this has to be perfect. If this is not utterly perfect, and putting this on top of it definitely takes risk in not making it perfect. So what I would recommend is actually taking the membrane. I actually put graphite on some of the keys. You can't really tell. I think this third row here, that was one of the suggestions. Put graphite, on it. And I'm curious to see one day which one goes out. Do the ones I put graphite on, do those go out first? Or do they go out after these other ones, which I did not mess with, go out? I don't know, but, that's an experiment I'm running, I suppose. We'll see. If the graphite thing actually works, I don't know. But what I would recommend is actually putting the membrane on top of the keys here, because that will line it up utterly perfectly. And from there we put on the plating with an eye on the plastic pieces that protrude from it. And there we go. And then make sure, just go over them with a flashlight or something and make sure all of the holes are completely centered. So you know you're not, if you have an angle, if there's any kind of an angle there and you put in a screw, you could very well be stripping it. So, you want this perfect. Perfect. I'd recommend just putting them in lightly at first, and then once you have them all in, go back around and tighten the ones that look like they're kind of not in all the way. Tighten those ones up a little bit. I also like to go around, from area to area rather than just do it all in a row. This is all because you need it perfectly, so you don't want anything to get misaligned. So all the keys are now back in. So now is a time to put the circuit board on. The circuit board, if you want. This is the original. It says Moss. It has Moss on it. Then it's an original. The other ones say CSG, I believe. But all of them do say power red and drive green, despite the fact that the newer ones do not have that configuration. But yes, I would recommend. This is how, I put this thing together so many times. Now, originally this thing comes zip tied to this. You will need to break the zip tie in order to do it in this method. This just guarantees you get a perfect connection to the connector here, because I tried it a million other ways, and this is by far the easiest way for me to have gone about it. The connection over there, and now with this open, we will just flip this a little bit backwards so it will fit perfectly. We'll put it snug in. And while we are pressing firmly, we'll go on the other side and put the connector down. Or up. Up. And it is now in nice and snug, I believe. Yes, that is confirmed. Nice and snug in there. That is just... For me, this was the easiest way to deal with the connector. Everything else, it was up pain in the ass. If you already have it on and you try, if you have this screwed on and you try to get that thing in there, it is like, good luck. Good luck. I don't like it. And there we go, my 1987 keyboard all back together, and we can now put it back into the Amiga and see if these keys will work now. So let's put the keyboard back in. Ground wire over here. And the main wire here. So let's test her out. So, looks like all these are working. Caps lock. Booyah! Caps lock is working. That makes me very happy. The caps lock is working again. As for these ones, that is a negative. We did not fix these ones, so it must be an issue with this. Again, I tried it with the other circuit board. I tried it with the complete other keyboard membrane. These keys just refused to work, and all the time. It must be something else wrong. I don't know. I mean, there's a trace cut or something. I don't know. Whatever. Again, I don't give a crap about these ones, but I guess this is why this is not a guide video. It's just a story video. Because I didn't actually solve it with the solution I was hoping for. I tried several things to get those to work. They aren't working. I don't really care, so I guess I will never have these particular keys working. But everything else is working just fine, so that is all I care about. And the escape key was the one I went into all of this to fix, and it is working, which makes me happy. Everything else is also working, it appears, and yeah, so oh well, I didn't fix those couple keys with the plunger, but I did get my caps lock back on, so I did accomplish something, which makes me happy. So I'm happy. I'm happy very much.
All back together.
Okay.
It's nice to see the beauty all back together for the first time in a week or two or so. It's hasn't been a fun ride, which is why it's not a guide video. I actually, I did the plunger method. I tried it with just a couple keys. Put it back together like it was like the 20th time I put the thing apart and together again. Tried that alcohol and rubbing the plunger on the paper method, and it worked. I was like, oh, well, I think I got something here. I could, at this point, make a guide video if I wanted to, but I just didn't. It's like I did this for one key, the escape key, and I did fix that key by swapping out plungers or something, and when I put it all back together, like half the keys didn't work, and I'm like that's depressing. It's like I didn't want to make a guide video for something that, went wrong. Just must have been like it was all those years of not moving and such. It had that perfect amount of whatever just to make it work. And then when I lifted it apart and was messing with it, that is what caused everything to go screwed up. So, it was one of those things. I'm very happy I was able to get it back together, and that alcohol with the plungers and paper method is what got most of my keys back working again, the ones that had gone awry. Unfortunately, the number pad keys, I don't know. I guess I couldn't show you it all on video, but yeah, those number pad keys must have something else wrong with them. I have no idea what. They haven't worked in forever. I have no idea, but I don't care either. So I've never used those keys really, so I don't care. But nevertheless, I guess it's not a guide, but it is a story. This is my story. Hope you enjoyed the story. Check out some other videos, and I'll see you all when I feel like it. Goodbye.